Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about the pros and the cons of living here in Utah in 2020. It's going to be specific to this year because we've had a ton of stuff happening. We're talking about Salt Lake, Park City, Provo, Ogden, Tooele, everything here along the Wasatch Front. So let's jump into it. My name is Cody and I make videos about what it's like to live, eat, work, sleep, and play here in Utah. So if you're interested in learning more about Utah specifically, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you're thinking about making a move here to Utah, reach out to me. I've had people reach out from all across the world who are making a move here to Utah and looking to purchase a home. And I absolutely love it when you guys reach out. My information's here on the screen and I would love to hear from you soon. So with that being said, let's jump right into our first pros and then we'll talk about some of the cons that you need to know about. There's a lot of crazy stuff that's happened in this year of 2020. And if you haven't seen my other pros and cons video about Salt Lake City in general, you'll definitely want to go and check that out. I'll link to it down in the description and I'll put it here on the screen as well. So make sure to check that out after you're finished with this one here. Jumping into pro number one, Utah is set up to be one of the best states for economic recovery after the coronavirus. We've had so many changes. There's been unemployment all over the place. People are in mortgage forbearance. People have lost jobs. People have been out of work. People have been stuck at home and so much has changed. But Utah, according to Forbes and one of their reports, Utah is poised to be one of the best states for economic recovery. I think there's a couple different reasons for this. We've got a ton of strong job growth. We've got a very reasonable cost of living compared to a lot of other major cities, and we have the most amazing access to the outdoors. These are just a few reasons as to why Utah and Salt Lake City specifically are going to recover a lot better than other cities and states. And with that being said, we should just jump right into number two, which is that we have the most amazing access to the outdoors. Here in 2020, the access to the outdoors has gotten even better. A lot of people come and travel here to Utah to be able to access this stuff, but with a lot of the travel being shut down and a lot less people traveling, that leaves more of it for the locals here. So we've been enjoying it here locally. You've been able to get up into the mountains, get out on the lake, and see a lot less traffic than we normally see. This is going to continue, and as more people come into the state, these things are going to get busier naturally. For at least the year of 2020 and most likely the year of 2021, we're going to see less tourism here in the state, so that leaves more access for us who are living here locally. This is a great option, especially if you're going to be moving into the state. You need to take advantage of it. If you want to go skiing, hiking, rock climbing, mountain biking, anything outdoors, now's the time to take advantage of it. The third pro on our list today is jobs. We've got strong job growth here in the area, and there's a huge demand for a strong workforce here. When it comes to jobs such as in tech, the tech industry is going like crazy right now. There's so many companies who are opening up positions here in Utah, and to be honest, a lot of those don't even require that you live here. However, a lot of people are still moving here just because of the great quality of life that you can get here. So you've got great access to a lot of jobs and great access to a good quality of life. Other industries that are going like crazy are the healthcare industry, which is seeing a lot of jobs, just in general, as the community grows, you're going to see more healthcare jobs, right? We've got an aging population and we've just got an increasing population as well. So there's more opportunities in healthcare. And the last one that I do want to point out and give a special shout out to is the construction and contracting industries. These are growing like crazy. I've been trying to get contractors to come out and do some work for me on a couple different places that I own, and it's absolutely insane how far out they are. It's hard to get calls back. It's hard to even get bids right now. So if you are a specialist in one of those industries, definitely come out here. There's a ton of work to go around. The fourth pro that I want to talk about here on our list today is that Utahns are still very positive and optimistic people and super kind. Even though everybody's social distancing right now, everybody still seems to get along and life is moving along just like normal. Doesn't seem like everybody's kind of stressed out. So that's just what I've noticed, and I think it was worth adding onto the list here. All right, now with that being said, let's jump into some of the cons of living here in Salt Lake City or even just Utah in general. As we do that, make sure to share this video with a friend or a family member who might also be interested in hearing about what I have to say about living here in Utah. Share it with your husband, share it with your wife, your girlfriend, your brother, your sister, even your kids or grandparents. Share it with them, and let's jump into the cons. Con number one that I want to talk about is that housing prices are increasing. Now, this is kind of a positive and a negative, and hear me out, stay with me here. So it is a con because housing prices are going up. Nobody wants to pay more for a house tomorrow if they could get it for a cheaper price today, right? I think that's a given. But if you're on the other side of it, if you own that real estate, you've got a very good chance that that real estate is going to be worth worth more in the future. So if you look at it in the sense of an investment, you can still buy property here today that has a very good chance of being worth more in the future. I know that for me, I'm still purchasing real estate and rental properties specifically, and I think that there's still a lot of opportunity out there. You have to be a little bit more careful with what you're looking for, but there is a lot of homes out there that can make great real estate investments over the long term. All right, the second con on our list I want to talk about is that the city and the state is getting a little bit congested. With so much tourism here and with so many people moving into the state, we are seeing that it's getting more and more congested. The infrastructure has just not quite been there, at least to the level that I think we should have seen, to accommodate a lot of these people who are coming in. Now, thankfully, a lot of people are working from home right now, so that has helped with traffic over the last couple of months, but it is a concern for me in the future because the east-west access that I've talked about a number of times here on the channel is not great. If you're going from I-15 and you're trying to get out to West Jordan, where you're going from I-15 down on the southern end and trying to get out to Harriman, the access to do that is not the best. I mean, it's kind of crazy that there's not better access for a lot of these east-west roads. North and south is getting better, so I'm not too worried about that, but here in Salt Lake County specifically, east to west is not great. So we're seeing a lot more congestion, and I think that as the state continues to grow, if we don't do anything about it, it's going to continue to get worse. The third con that I want to talk about here today is air quality. We're still seeing the air quality as a concern, and again, with more people moving into the state, it's going to get worse. This means more cars on the road, more transport, more shipping. A lot of these things that produce the gases that kind of cause this issue in the first place are continuing to happen. So we're going to see more and more of that over the coming years, and I think it's something that Utah is working on. You know, the government is trying to be better about it. A lot of people are switching to electric vehicles. I've made the switch. You know, I think a lot of people are trying to contribute and trying to help the air quality problem that we have here, but it is still a concern, and it is something that needs to be corrected sooner than later. And again, all of the fires that they've had in California, all of that smoke is unfortunately blowing over here to the east, which is ending up in the Utah skies. So this has not been great for us. I know a lot of people in California have been suffering from that with really bad air quality, but we're suffering too. You know, a lot of that air is blowing over, and it's making it a pretty unfortunate year. You know, we've had worse air quality this summer than we normally have. So thankfully right now it's kind of cleared up. We're enjoying some nice fall weather, but I'm a little bit concerned with the air quality. Again, it needs to be addressed, or else it's just going to continue to get worse. So I think we're on the right path. I think we're going to see those improvements, but it is something to kind of take note of, especially if you come to visit, check out the air quality, do some research on it, and see what your thoughts are for that particular reason. And the fourth con that I want to talk about is that a lot of places are closing early, they're opening late, or they're just closed entirely on Sundays. There's a large part of the LDS population who generally doesn't go out on Sundays, and so we're seeing a lot of those places be closed down anyway. I've talked about this in a few other videos here on the channel, so you'll probably hear me mention that at least a couple more times, but it's something that can be a little bit frustrating or hard to adjust to, just because we're so used to everything being open all the time, right? So I think this is probably an issue that everybody is experiencing regardless of where you live, but I've definitely noticed it here in Utah. I mean, I went to the bank the other day and it was shut down at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So a little bit frustrating that I had to go drive to another bank. You know, not a big deal, not the end of the world, but just one of those things that, you know, does kind of come as a downside to living here in Utah at this time. And so with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you're making that move here to Utah and you're looking to purchase a home, make sure to get in touch with me. My information is here on the screen. I would absolutely love to hear from you, even if you're just looking to rent for the first year and then purchase later on, or if you're looking to invest in a second home or even rental properties here in Utah, I would love to be a resource for you. So reach out to me, make that connection. I'd love to hear from you. Share this video with a friend or a family member. Give me a thumbs up, and I'll catch you in the next one.